Welcome to episode 14 of Home Pod Advantage. It's your host, Calvin Silvers. I'm here with Brian, Eric, Tyrone. Guys, how's your day going?
It's going great.
It's beautiful outside.
Once again, very non-productive day for me.
Yeah.
I was hoping to do some laundry today, just didn't.
Just didn't get around to it.
I might do it later.
I got my laundry done yesterday,
It's
so
a
I'm
great
good.
day. I had my last lab today. Hate that class.
But now it's
But
over.
now it's over.
It's over. That's
Finally.
good.
I've had a great day, very productive. I walked down my biggest opponent in Elden Rings today, so I'm feeling pretty good.
Like I said, that was a good boss fight that you had earlier.
Yeah.
Good time. So it sounds like everyone's having a good day, so let's make it a good podcast. First of all, I want to talk about Ben Simmons decided to sit out in Game 4, an elimination game for the Brooklyn Nets, decided to sit out. He told the Nets leadership that a mental block for him to play is creating stress as a trigger point for his back issues. The Nets players and coaches wanted Simmons to show resolve and play in the series, even if it was for limited minutes, and he still didn't. Do you guys think Ben Simmons should have been playing yesterday?
Yes, 100%.
I'm gonna say no because he hasn't played the rest of the season. He didn't play the rest of the game, so it's like now you want me to play?
Well, he said he was fine all week until the game time where, oh my god, my back spasms are back. Why don't you just take out your tampon and go replace it for a new one and get out on the damn court and play?
I honestly think he should have played. You traded for him. He's had time to rest. It's an elimination game, like you said, even limited minutes, he can still bring you that defensive front that you need, and he didn't even give it a try. He really finessed a whole season out of both the 76ers and then the postseason for the Nets. I'm not saying him playing would have changed the series at all, but I think he owned that to the Nets. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I just think of it like this. Before he was traded, you knew he had these issues, these mental health issues with him sitting out and not playing. Like, you knew that was his character. You think those are just going to go away? Like maybe he's not lying about this mental health. Maybe I don't know what he has going on in his brain, but obviously at this point, something is holding him back from playing because I don't think he's physically hurt either. I just think he didn't want to play. I don't think he wanted to play at all this whole year. So I'm just going to take this year off.
Okay, but if it is a mental block, I think you have to completely eliminate yourself from the whole basketball scene at that point. Like, not like not play it or anything like that, but like if you're not like gonna play at all, I don't want you on the sidelines. Like you're gonna bring more attention to yourself and more of a distraction to the team if you're not even gonna be out there and you're gonna keep using this mental health as the reason. And I think it's bringing too much attention away from the team, the guys who are actually playing, the guys who are going out there. Obviously, he's on the team, but he hasn't done anything yet, and he still has this narrative going on. So, I think he just needs to come back when he actually is ready, when he knows it, instead of just kind of telling us and then going away from it and then coming back and then going away from it. So.
No, I agree. If it's a mental block and he's having these mental health issues within basketball and his injury and whatever else is going on in his life, and you're right, Brian, I think he needs to take a step away. But yet he's showing out in these flashy clothes. He's being on the sideline. He's not even really doing anything. He's not even really showing emotion after they lost. He's just sitting there.
I mean, he ain't play. He didn't play in the game. He's not supposed to cry.
But if I traded for you, yes, I knew you had these injuries, but if I traded for you and you've been telling me all week that you're ready to go, Game 4, you're ready to go, or they were even saying maybe Game 3, blah, 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 he's feeling good, I'm expecting you to show out. I'm expecting you to play and show me what you can do from your time off, just to see how you guys play together, and you're not even going to give me that. In an elimination game, nonetheless.
I think that, if that's the Nets' focus, was the focus on Ben Simmons playing that fourth game, that's probably why they lost. They spend too much time focusing on a player who is literally not playing.
I don't know if it was their focus, but I would be mad too if he tells me he's fine, and then all of a sudden he's not fine, and he doesn't want to play. Like I said, the Nets players and coaches both wanted him to play at just even limited minutes, and he still wouldn't do that. I would have rather had Harden on my team.
But he said previously beforehand, but before he even got on the team, he was already on the stand of I'm not ready to play basketball. But as the playoffs came towards, it got closer in the season, I feel like there's more pressure. Like, people are saying, oh, maybe they can get Ben Simmons back. Maybe they can get Ben Simmons back. Maybe they can get Ben Simmons back. In his head, he's probably not thinking, I probably still don't want to come back. But, everybody's saying we want you to come back. Probably asking him every day, Are you ready to play? Do you want to play? Do you want to play? Are you ready to play? And in his mind, he's probably thinking, no, I don't want to play. One day he was probably like, yeah, I'll play.
But you can't say that though.
But
you're
yeah,
really not, because that's just gonna, like you said, that you think the Nets were too focused on that. If I if I was getting Ben Simmons back in the biggest game of the year, I would put my focus around that too, because he could be the difference to get you that win. And if he says that he's gonna play, and then here you go, the day before the game he rules himself out, like you just wasted all that time and you could have been working on something else, and you put all your focus on that, and now it's just waste of a week. So
yeah. I mean, he probably should have played, but at the end of the day, I don't think this was the Nets year either, because Kyrie played half of the games this season. So I don't think a team where your third best player or your second best player got traded away from the team, then your third best player didn't play at all, and your second best player played half of the games.
Yeah.
Your team's probably not going to be successful.
And Katie was hurt a lot of
I was just
that.
gonna say
And
KD
KD
was
was
hurt.
hurt,
Like
like-
came off an Achilles injury, which we're gonna talk about that in a second. So keep that in your mind. But just back to this Ben Simmons, he's at 76ers. He wants out of there. Mental health issues. Sits out. Doesn't get traded. Whatever. Finally comes to the Nets. At some point, man, you got to play, especially if you've had a whole year off. And Brian, I'm glad you said it, because I 100% agree with you that if you're not going to play and this is really that much of an issue, then step away from the game for a little bit. Don't even be on the sidelines.
You can't do that as a player, though. No player is just not showing up on their team's bench.
I'd be like, if you have mental health issues and you're not going to play, then it's obviously a struggle for you. It's causing you stress, which is going to hurt your back. Just take some time away. Go.
It's not the game of basketball doesn't stress him. I think it's the ridicule he's going to receive once he steps onto the court that is...
Or hasn't stepped on the court.
But him sitting on the sideline, I think he's still going to get that, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not
He's- And him in his flashy clothes to sit there, he can easily be picked
Everybody
out.
has on flashy clothes on the sideline.
I'm not-
I don't know anybody who walked out onto the court in a full lamb outfit.
They're
I've
not,
never seen that
They're
before in my
not.
entire
He's
life.
not coming out and saying, "Yeah, put the cameras on me." They're putting them on him.
Well, of course.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to
It's-
take a step away then. If it's causing him stress, if I was Steve Nash, I'd be like, all right.
No, him sitting on the sideline is not causing him stress. It's him being in the game. Him in the game, in the moment, like, oh,
I think all of it's causing him stress. Just the whole, like you said, people saying, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? People probably ask him every day, are you going to play or are you not going to play?
Oh, well, think about it. If he doesn't play, they're just going to call him soft. Or if he doesn't show up at all, they're like, he's soft. He's not there for his team.
Unless if Steve Nash said something in a press, like, we told Ben Simmons to stay home, he's just not, maybe
We
that.
want to make sure we get him back as soon as possible. We want to make sure he's doing the most he can so that he can get back as quick as possible.
Eric,
Something like that.
what do you think about this?
I mean, I think what you guys are saying of like the cameras being on him on the sideline, but also you have to be you still have to be there for your team. Like you have to be there. Like if he wasn't there, he would create even more like backlash on himself. Unless Steve Nash said we told him to stay home, blah blah blah. But I mean, if he told them that they weren't going to play, and also, what if Ben Simmons never said he was ready to play, and his agent just said that for some reason? Because like when Tom Brady was retiring, he was like, "Oh, I didn't say that. Like my agent released out an accident." It could be that situation or something close to that, a different variant of that, or he just I don't know. He could just not want to play. I have no idea. But you can't if you traded him for him, knowing that he hasn't played for the 76ers all year, or I don't know if it was all year, but
yep.
And then you expect him to play, he's a basketball player, you gotta expect him to play, but he hasn't, so why would he come to a new team that he's unfamiliar with, uncomfortable with, compared to a 76ers where you were just at, and play just out of a snap? Like that makes you can't expect that. You can't expect him to go
That's
play
true,
that.
but he's been doing this since college.
That's what I'm saying.
He's been doing it.
too.
He did it with the 76ers. He did it at LSU. I mean, this isn't new. Like, again, it's a new team, but like, he's been doing it for many years now. And at some point, there's got to be a bigger problem than just mental health. It's got to be either that if he can't if it really comes down to all the ridicule, then maybe he just shouldn't play basketball, because that is part of the sport. It's a huge part of the sport.
I think Ben Simmons he does get treated very unfairly because of the fact that he can't shoot, which is stupid. Because there's a lot of players who can't shoot, and people will say, they're just like, oh yeah, the 76ers lost, the team lost because Ben Simmons can't shoot, they can't do this. But in reality, that is a factor. But if you actually sit down and think about it, that he is not the reason his team's losing. Like, the 76ers, people are genuinely think that he's the reason they were losing games. He's their second best player on their team. He was an all-star most of the years he was there, and first team all defense. Like, I don't know how that's clicking that he's losing. He's not playing good. The thing is, he's had a great career so far, but the way we speak about him is like he sucked. He's not had a terrible career. He's played 4 years, and he had a great 4 years. He won Rookie of the Year and multiple All-Star. He's a multiple-time All-Star.
He technically wasn't a rookie, but it's whatever.
He can't even get the award for Rookie of the Year without a debate. He can't even get it.
He technically wasn't a rookie. Was it not his second year?
Not playing. He ain't play. He ain't play this year. None's gonna pop up under this year or his rookie year or his first year in the league. Is his development year.
I'm just saying, I don't. As the Nets, I just be frustrated because, like Brian said, he's had these problems for a while now where he's just not playing games, and I don't.
It's your fault for trading for him.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is, but
the Nets are dealing with Kyrie and James Harden too. This might be the Nets' problem. Maybe they're handling their players wrong.
That's true. That's fair, but
that's like trading for Anthony Davis, thinking he's gonna be healthy. That's just stupid.
Get healthy.
That's the same boat. Like,
but
if you trade for someone that is injury prone and they get injured, you're like, oh wow, damn.
But I think at some point I agree with you, Ty. I don't think he's had a bad career for the times that he's played, but at some point he's got to start playing multiple seasons in a row.
He has. He literally has played multiple seasons in a row. He literally has. Like, that's not an over-exaggeration.
Yes, but
he was an all-star multiple years in a row. There's so many players who have not been an all-star multiple years in a row that people love.
But the fact that we can think of 3 separate instances where he's just decided to sit out, not play, like...
He just didn't sit out last time. This season is the only time he's did that. Literally.
He did it at LSU.
He played most of the season. He just said, I'm going to focus on getting to the NBA. Which,
just to sit out.
I mean, he set out his rookie year, but that was due.
Rookie year this year.
What are people's expectations for Ben Simmons? What do y'all want him to do? Did y'all want him to play and do what? Because if he played bad, you would criticize him. If he played,
I don't really watch Ben Simmons. I wouldn't look for him. If I saw him out on the card, I'd be like, well, good. He's finally playing. He got over whatever it was. It's good to see him back on the court. I wouldn't pay attention to how well he was playing. Because I don't care. I'm just tired of hearing about it because it's always the main thing.
That's not his.
It's a distraction.
That doesn't make any sense to me because he's literally not saying anything. I have not heard a single quote from Ben Simmons. These are all things that the media
that everything that he's saying is wrong.
A wise man once said nothing at all. You're not supposed to. He's not saying anything. If you're not saying or doing anything, how are you being the distraction? That's literally other people talking about you and telling you that you're the distraction.
Okay, but if you're telling your coaches and your players, hey guys, I think I'll be ready for game 4. Hey, I could even be ready for game 3, 4, 5, whatever. Then okay, now Steve Nash is like, okay, how can we incorporate him? What's his minutes like?
Man, Steve Nash ain't doing none of that, bro. Man, he's not doing. Someone
on that staff is. What I'm saying is, yes, he might not be telling the public this stuff, but he's telling his teammates and his coaches this stuff, so now they got to start focusing that around him and how they're going to incorporate him just for him to. So they're starting to focus on that just for him a couple days before the game or day before it, where now he's like, no, I'm not going to play anymore. I can't. So now whatever preparation you did is just completely gone. That focus that you could have been on another game plan is gone now because you were trying to incorporate Ben Simmons. So yeah, he's not telling the public this stuff, but he's telling his teammates and coaches, which is causing a distraction within the organization.
Okay, you talking about distraction. The biggest distraction on that team is Kyrie Irving. He didn't play for half of the season. Yeah. They lost. Ben Simmons didn't play in the game, and the conversation is about Ben Simmons. Like, he didn't touch the court this whole season. Talk about KD or Kyrie or the players that are literally losing in the games. Those are the biggest distractions because they're losing. They're distracted on the court. Ben Simmons is not playing. He's not affecting the product on the court. Only thing that Ben Simmons is affecting is the things that the media say that don't really matter about what's going on the court.
I feel like he could also. I think he could have helped. I mean, they lost by 4. Having him out there on defense, he could. I don't know.
they got swept with KD and Kyrie on their team. Ben Simmons wouldn't have did that much.
I don't know.
If KD is struggling to score the ball on offense, the team he's on is gonna do bad, regardless of what's going on.
There's all these claims that KD's the best scorer of our generation. If he can't score, then who is going to score? If KD's the best scorer and he's not scoring, logically, no one else can score.
Yeah, I mean, he scored the last game. Let's just
He
go.
scored 30 plus points one game of that series.
Yeah.
That's not
That's not going to get it done.
That's not
Okay,
gonna win.
let's talk about this then, since
And
you
Kyrie
brought
did
it
it
up.
the first game.
Okay, who had the most disappointing season, the Lakers or the Nets?
The Nets.
I would say the Lakers because they didn't make it to the playoffs.
I would say the Nets.
See, okay. Here, Lakers 33-49, failed to miss the playoffs. Some just players, notable players: Russell, LeBron, Anthony, Carmelo, Horton Tucker, Austin Reeves, Malik Monk. Brooklyn Nets 44-38, captured the 7th spot. Some notable players: LaMarcus Aldridge, Seth Curry, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, Ben Simmons didn't play. Patty Mills, Andre Drummond, Nick Claxton. See, I was thinking too, the Lakers at first, because they missed the playoffs, but the Nets had a good big three, which they lost with Harden going. So then they bring in Simmons, which I thought would have been good on the defensive side. The Nets, it's disappointing because, like you said, they didn't have time to gel together. With Kevin Durant being out, Kyrie Irving not playing basically half the games, Ben Simmons not playing, and then Harden getting traded away. So then that was all messed up after that. I heard today on one of the ESPN shows, and they said that the Nets have to really start taking the regular season seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I always think that
They're always sitting someone out. They're always, we'll be good come playoff time, but
in sports, that very rarely. I mean, it happens sometimes. The only example, in basketball, really, this is not happening where you can just throw a bunch of players together and just say, go out there and play. Not in the NBA, not at that high of level, because eventually you're gonna need to rely on your teammates with team chemistry.
Yeah.
And the Nets literally didn't have any team chemistry this year, none. Like, I don't see how you could.
But I also think here that the Lakers might have had the Lakers also had the most disappointing season. One, because they failed to miss the playoffs, but two, they had a coach that's been coaching them for 4 years, where Steve Nash has only been there for 2. So they have a better coach per se in the fact that he's just been there longer. You have LeBron James, and another thing is too that the Lakers blew up basically their whole team that they had before just to get a team like this, and yet failed to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, but
I
you
was
can say that
able to
about
make
you
the
can say that about the Nets as well.
Yeah, you
I'll
could,
also
but they
say-
still had. Go ahead.
LeBron is 37. KD is the best player on his team. He's in his prime. Kyrie's in his prime. James Harden is at the tail end of his prime, and Ben Simmons is young. So they have no reason to be doing this.
I agree.
Like their expectation, they're in win now.
Okay, but here's another thing too. They were the 7 seed. The Celtics were the 2 seed. The Nets were supposed to lose this series. In theory.
In theory, I guess, but in reality, no. Not when people were literally saying this is the most skilled duo ever.
Yeah,
I don't know who
ridiculous.
said that.
There are some people saying that, but that's a ridiculous claim right there. But failing to miss the playoffs, that's a pretty big disappointment, because I said this on the pod before that's the goal, is to get to the playoffs.
But they had players literally hurt. Like,
That's
physically hurt.
Yeah,
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to get in a fight about Russell Westbrook here, but if he's your best player or has to be your best player at times on a team, you're probably not gonna get.
I'll just say this also, fun fact about Westbrook. He's never ever got swept in a playoff series in his career.
Really?
Nope.
Good for him.
Good
But
point.
I agree with you on the Nets. I think the Nets they have the better team. Obviously, you can make the argument. They were both hurt. Obviously, they both have lost guys all year. Anthony Davis missed a lot of games. Westbrook, even LeBron. And then you look at the Nets. They lost Joe Harris. Kevin Durant got hurt. Ben Simmons hasn't played all year. Now you don't have Kyrie, but I don't count that because that's just that's just his choice. That's part of his ego. If he doesn't want to get the vaccine, that's one thing. But that plays into the Nets being more disappointed because, if you can play and it's something like just that, I get, you don't want to get it, but it's just like, come on, man. You're here to play basketball. Like, don't worry about anything else. Just play basketball. That's all you got to do.
He doesn't
So,
live life. He's still a person.
I mean, I get that, but like,
He's not just a toy for us to watch. He's still a person.
I get that, but like, he's trying to make it like a bigger deal, and when he lives in a state where it's literally required, like, come on, man.
You want to get the vaccine?
It has to be traded at that point, like, so you can at least play. Like,
That's not his fault. Tell the Nets to trade him.
Yeah, they
he
could
could
have.
have. He could have.
They could have, but
They could have traded him.
But here's the thing too: that vaccine mandate was not going to last forever.
I get that, but it lasted for the majority of the year.
Well, and
He was
that
hurt majority of the year. So what is
I don't think they would have won a ring regardless this year of any scenario because
Yeah, I think if KD was healthy all year and Kyrie played all the games, they
would have.
they might have made it past this one, but
So-
I don't think they would have made it.
okay. So are the Nets going to win a championship with this team? Because
They easily
here's what I'm going to say:
I don't know.
Kyrie's not going to stay here much longer.
Yes, he just said.
Well, okay, you guys said if KD,
He said he's
if
gonna be
KD
at
and
the
Kyrie were
Celtics,
healthy and
man.
they played all year, that's the chemistry that we needed, right?
Yeah.
And that's not good enough to win, right?
What?
You guys don't think those two, if they played all year and were
No,
healthy,
they're
all year,
good-
that
they're
would be
good
good enough to win?
No, it is.
It would be, okay.
And I have Joe Harris back. He was literally the best 3-point shooter the past few years, and Ben Simmons, who's more than ready enough, and then the
Even
rest of
with
the
those
team,
four.
Steph Curry and the rest, yeah, they'll be fine.
They do need either. They need one more
Yeah.
decent player.
Some
'Cause, like,
tweaking.
It's KD, Kyrie, and then the next best player on the Nets.
Well, it'd be Ben if he plays.
Yeah.
That's
He's
what I'm
gonna play
saying.
next
That's what I'm
year.
saying. If he plays,
We'll see.
You don't
We'll
think
see.
he's gonna play next?
I'm not
I
saying.
I think he is, but
This is why he has mental health issues.
because of me, Brian.
Yes.
because people are saying things about him. Man, if I had that, we'd all have mental health issues. Then would we not? People are gonna say things about it. You just have to get over it, and you gotta look past it. Like
He's trying to.
you can't
He's not playing.
let what other people say stop you. Because at the end of
you
the
might be
day,
betting on the games.
What? Yeah.
hey, that's exactly what I told Ty. I said mental health in the NFL is betting on games, according to Calvin Ridley. So maybe he has back spasm because he lost all that damn money.
Could be. I think when it's all said and done, I think the Lakers had the most disappointing season. One, because they failed to miss the playoffs. And yeah, you could say LeBron James, 37, blah, blah, blah. But at one point, he was leading the league in points. And the fact that, I get it, he was injured, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that you have the best player, arguably ever, I get it, he's 37, but he was still leading the league in points. And you can't make the playoffs, I think that's the most disappointing season between the two.
The difference in team though is like
There is a difference in team
top
too.
5 to like bottom 5. Like the Lakers.
They're only
roster
11
is
wins
just
behind.
terrible.
Well, I mean, KD and Kyrie didn't play, but still.
I don't know. I just think the Lakers roster is so much worse.
It is.
compared to the Nets,
Oh,
and yet they
definitely.
still
They're
have 11
giving
losses.
Carmelo a lot of minutes. He shouldn't be playing that many minutes in the NBA at this age.
No, he had his great career, his fun, but that's over. So, what's your final answer? Nets or Lakers?
It's definitely the Nets. With
Nets.
a team like that, you have to do better than that.
Yeah.
At least you gotta win a game.
The Celtics are good, which is my next question. We'll talk about that next. But that's why I'm saying the Lakers most disappointing. How about you, Ty?
I want to say the Nets because in the past 2 years they made 2 blockbuster trades and nothing happened from it.
Okay, that's also true.
I switched my answer to the Nets as well.
So I'm the only one going the Lakers still on that one. All right. With the Celtics beating the Nets, are the Celtics the best team in the playoffs right now? Because they really don't have that big of injuries either, like that the Suns do and the Bucks do. So are the Celtics the best team right now?
No.
I would say no.
They're a great team.
I would say they're the top 3 in the teams. I still think with the Bucks lost Chris Middleton, like you were saying, with injuries. If they're not the best team, then it has to go to Golden State. It just has to. They're playing phenomenal. Yeah, they just lost, but like it was a go home for the Nuggets at Nuggets. They had to get one. They had to at least win compared to the Nets.
I'm just saying the Celtics swept. They are literally the only team that swept this.
I mean, yeah, they did.
Against a team that we were saying should be in the second, third round.
I think
I said no, Celtics and 7.
they're a good team, but
Still no.
That's what I'm saying.
I think the teams that are capable of winning the finals, which in the playoffs, those are the best teams to me. The teams that can actually win the finals are teams that have a top 5 player on their team, which is the Bucks and the Warriors are the only 2 teams left that have that.
You said top 5.
Joel Embiid.
Top 5.
Tatum.
Oh yeah, I'll give Joel Embiid. Jason Tatum not.
Even though
top
they might
5.
blow their 3-0 lead.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
we'll
Okay,
see
so
about
who's
that.
better then, Denver or Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
I know Brooklyn would.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
by personnel, it's Brooklyn.
we're saying this goal.
Jokic is in the MVP race, but they have KD and Kyrie.
And what was that stat you told me earlier? What are the Celtics
26-6 in the last
26
32 games.
Yep.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't know, dude. They might be the best.
They were talking about last night. I don't remember the date, but after a certain date, they had the best offense and the best defense in the league. After I think it was the halfway point or something like that. So it's pretty impressive too.
I don't know. I think with the injury to Chris Middleton and Doc Rivers doing his big choking job here. At least in the East, the Celtics are the best team now, at this moment.
But who
at this very moment?
But who on that team can honestly guard Giannis? Because
Nobody.
obviously Tatum he did a great job with KD, but Giannis is a different breed.
Yeah, that
No,
getting
Giannis
physical
is
with
actually
Giannis
strong.
stuff is not working with Giannis.
Okay,
it's
but
not like KD can just KD is more of a pull-up guy. Giannis is gonna hit him one dribble, make him fly, and then he's gonna get an easy.
KD is as strong as I am. Like that's not.
But I don't think, as great as Giannis is, and this isn't taking anything away from him, without Middleton, I don't know if he can lead a team. Like, even if let's say he had to play Boston, I don't think himself could lead them to victory. Just himself. Without
he would.
They would get games. They would get games, but that Boston team, I think to win in the finals and the playoffs, you have to have the best team.
That's not true.
That's
not true. You gotta think about it. All the teams that win the rings, you have a top 5, top 3 type player on your team, and Jason Tatum is good, but he's not there yet.
But I think they're all solid in what they're doing right now. The defense, the offense,
You can make that argument though for the Bucks. I mean, yeah, Chris Middleton is their second best player, but Drew Holiday is good. Bobby Portis is good off the bench. Serge Ibaka, Pat Connaughton, they've had the same team.
But what I'm saying is
they brought everybody back and more from last year. This team is like that. I don't know how long Chris Middleton's injury is. I don't think it's I think it's 2 to 3 weeks, which is about a week ago. So by the time they play Boston, he'll be about halfway back. They can keep the series close enough to get Chris Middleton back, and Giannis can do his job.
I'll say this: last year too in the finals, Giannis missed the first game and the second game, I think, or just the first game, and he was injured. He wasn't fully healthy the second game, and they still won that series
In the finals?
In the finals,
Really?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, they said about 2 weeks, and he's hoping he can play after that. So,
well, he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll be fine. Because even if Milwaukee wins tonight, this series is not going to start till this. What?
They play tomorrow.
They play tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Milwaukee wins on Wednesday. The series is not going to start till at least Sunday. I would say Sunday or Monday.
Have to wait. Even if the Raptors goes to Game 7, they have plenty of time. Because they have to wait for that to get done, don't they? Or will it start right away?
No, because if the Heat win, the Heat will play the lower seed, which will automatically be whoever that is.
Okay,
so it won't matter.
Will
So this
it start
series,
immediately, or they don't wait for everyone else to get done?
they wait till more like the end of the games. If they'll start when people are playing their game 7s or something like that. So they won't start till at least Saturday or Sunday. Or probably Monday.
They don't wait till the series is completely done. But yeah, they wait till the tennis.
So that's at least 4 or 5 more extra days for Chris Middleton to get healthy, and that's without having to travel or anything like that. So he can really focus on getting right, so he can get back for Game 1.
Even then, I wouldn't even be concerned if he didn't play Game 1 or Game 2, maybe.
Yeah, if he came back Game 3, I'd be like, all right, 1-1 maybe. Maybe you're down 2-0. I still wouldn't be.
That's fine. They're down 2-0 in the finals last year. The Bucks are not. I'm not gonna say not concerned about the Celtics, but they feel okay.
It's just another matchup.
I don't know. I feel like at some point it's the Celtics' time, and this is looking like it might be.
I think it's been the Celtics' time for a minute.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying it's been and they haven't done it, is what I'm saying.
And I agree with that, and that's what I'm saying. I think now it could be their time.
And they have a first-year head coach too.
That's true. They do have a first-year head coach. All right, so I'm thinking Boston's one of the better teams here remaining, or not even remaining, but just right now, at least in the East. You guys have Milwaukee, so do you guys think it's going to be at Boston? Or no?
They can't.
Yeah, that's why So who do you think it's going to be then? Who comes out of that, Boston or Milwaukee?
It's definitely Milwaukee.
Yeah, 100%.
Honestly, I wouldn't. If Toronto wins their series against Philly, they're gonna get to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. Oh.
I think they can beat the Heat.
The Heat are very beatable.
They are, but I'm not gonna lie, I've been hating on the Heat for a while, but they are the 1 seed for a reason. They do have some good players. Jimmy Butler's been playing good. Everyone else has been stepping up when need be. I don't think Toronto gets it. And to be honest, if Toronto wins this, I'm not gonna even say it's that crazy of a. It is. It really is because they had to come back. But like, Doc Rivers is known to choke these leads. So
I don't know. 3-0. I think they can beat the Heat just because if you win 4 straight after being down 3-0, you're riding so high. Regardless of anything. Like I've been watching sports for a long time. That's how these teams just come out of nowhere because they win that one game, then they get lucky on the next one, and they keep going, and they win, and they win, and they win, and they just keep riding off of that. And I think if you come back from 3-0, you're going to be feeling pretty damn good about yourself. So, you got Drake with you, you're fine.
You have Drake with you.
okay, so then what about the West then? Is Golden State or unanimous best team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because now that Devin Booker's hurt, I don't even know if the Suns are going to win that series now. So if they're out, you might as well just give it to Golden State now.
Yeah.
I have to say, to be honest, the West, I think we had this argument a while ago, but the West is not very stacked right now.
Yeah,
Especially
they
with
have
the
no
injuries,
good.
too.
that Nuggets team is hurt, man. The Minnesota's young.
Yep.
Timberwolves are young. I mean, the Grizzlies are young. Suns are. I mean,
Denver only has Jokic.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Jazz.
The
are just
Jazz,
disappointing.
just disappointing.
I think the second best is
Luka.
probably
I
the
mean,
Suns,
I
yeah.
think Luka.
Especially with
Brunson.
Jalen Brunson,
Yeah.
going crazy like that.
I mean,
if he can
maybe.
keep that,
Hey, they might make the Western Conference Finals, man.
if he
I was
can,
gonna
If
say
they
it might
play
be
the Pelicans-
the Mavs and the Warriors. Honestly.
Oh, they play the Pelicans. I think they can beat the
oh
Pelicans.
yeah.
Honestly.
I don't think the Suns lose though. I get it. They don't have Devin Booker, but
I don't know. I
I
don't think
did
he's
see
gonna
this
come
thing
back
on
at
Twitter
all.
that said that Brandon Ingram probably stole KD's power, so we don't know.
that's crazy. That's crazy too. The Lakers gave up on him too quickly.
They got a ring out of it. What you mean? He don't got a ring, does he? Nope.
I mean, we'll see.
They got a ring. People
Bring
that's
back
another-
Zion.
People-
Bring back Zion.
Now they need to. Now that's someone that we need to talk about more.
I was
Besides
about to
Ben
say.
So
Simmons.
this dude's
Yeah.
doing through the
That's a
legs.
finesse.
He has no excuse. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like if you're doing through the legs on warm-ups, you can play 10 minutes.
Yeah,
10 to
100%
15
easily.
minutes.
At least 10 minutes.
You could walk and still make more of an impact.
And he barely played his. He only didn't even play his first full year.
Yeah.
But if they got Zion, watch out for the Pelicans, man. Watch out for
We'll
them.
see.
Maybe now he'll want to stay. We'll see. All right. Speaking of Dallas, maybe being the second best team in the West, is Luka a top 5 player in the league
No.
as we speak?
No.
No.
Let me quickly read this. Hold on. This
In the
stat here
league
that I
right
have.
now, I'm putting Giannis ahead of him. I'm putting LeBron. I'm putting KD,
Steph.
Steph,
Jokic or Embiid.
Jokic or Embiid.
But I hate saying Embiid is better or Jokic I can kind of see, but Embiid I'm just like that's two totally different.
That's still
Jokic.
fine. That's still
Nah,
fine.
man. Yo, Embiid is better. He's had dominant seasons in a row.
It's just hard for me to compare those two. Is what I'm saying. I'm not.
Yeah, and Embiid plays great defense too.
Okay, so here I just want to read this off real quick because we were talking too about on this pod. Is it better to have just a full team or, like you said, a top 3 to 5 player? But listen to this. So here's Luka's playoff career. Game in his first game, his playoff debut, 42-7-9. That's the most points in a playoff debut ever.
Damn.
I'm just gonna go down. So it's like game 2, game 3. Okay, whatever. 28-8-7, 13-10-10. He left with injury. 43-17-13. Game 3 at buzzer. 22-8-4, 38-9-9, 31-10-11, 39-7-7, 44-9-9, 19-6-6, 42-8-14, 29-8-11, 46-7-13, 30-10-4, 33-13-5.
Those are great stats.
Impressive.
Great stats for a playoff.
But he's not. He has to get past the second round.
But he doesn't have a team. He doesn't really have a team.
For all these
He's never
niggas,
really
okay,
had a team.
If we're gonna say he's top 5, I don't care. Because
Yeah.
KD got swept and we're ridiculing him so hard. If he's
He has a
top
better
5,
team though.
if he's top 5, we need to criticize these players super, super hard. Because I feel like we're letting Luka skate by. Like he can lose this year if he does it. If he loses the first round, nobody really say anything. If he loses the second round, nobody really say anything.
He ain't going out.
I just
Like think a top 5 player, top 5, top 3 player. That's
I think you can't put him there yet.
He hasn't did enough. Not for
Like,
me.
there's still too many guys in the league who's already been in the league so many years to where, like, even if Luka has gotten to past the second round once, like, I still wouldn't even put him there.
Jason Tatum has made it to the conference finals twice.
Yeah,
I think Luka might be like barely in the top 10.
I would put him in the top 10.
I'd probably put him top 10
I
here.
think he's low top 10.
I agree.
I would have said, yeah. Because, I mean, like, he's not better
Okay,
than
so
Giannis has got a ring.
hold on.
LeBron's got a ring. Even though KD, you can, I mean,
Okay.
the way it's looking like KD really only won the ring
No,
because he had Curry.
no order whatsoever. Let's just name some people that are better. So we said LeBron,
Giannis,
KD,
Curry.
Jokic.
I would say Jokic. Regardless, Jokic is better.
Back-to-back MVPs. Luka is not nothing close to that.
Jokic, Embiid.
That's a top
Embiid.
5 for sure.
Who?
We're at set.
I would say Jason
with it.
Tatum.
That one's close.
He's been to 2
Okay.
conference finals, man.
We argued about this. That's true. We argued about this. Devin Booker or Luka?
I'm gonna go Devin Booker. He made it to the finals.
Yeah, definitely.
I might have to give that to Devin Booker as well.
We both.
Devin Booker's a bucket, dude.
Okay, so even let's
He's
just say,
winning on and off.
Think
let's say we throw out Booker and Tatum. All right, we're at 9. Is there someone else we can think of?
James Harden.
Right now, I think Luka's better
I don't
right
know
now.
about that.
Jake?
Career-wise, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but Harden, I haven't seen Harden.
In this
Harden hasn't
exact
played
moment,
one game.
Yes, in this exact
Like,
moment,
who would you
right
rather
now.
have on your team right now?
I'm
If they
taking
playoff
Luka. I'm
time?
taking Luka.
I'm taking Luka.
Like,
Right now,
I still believe in James Harden.
I'm not saying
I'm
that.
not saying I don't believe in it.
He's not as
I'll give it
dominant
to
player since they changed.
I'll give it to Luka as
I agree. He hasn't really had the point impact necessarily since they've changed his rule.
Indeed. Let me.
I'll take Luka over Harden. I think right now.
Yeah.
Luka better than Kyrie.
That's so
that's another close. See, after Embiid, with Booker, Tatum, Kyrie, this is where it's starting to get.
Yeah, I mean, I know Marquel was talking about this earlier, but a healthy Kawhi is better than Luka. I can
That's
guarantee that.
Okay, well,
But he has
okay,
played
but
too,
yeah.
so-
I don't want to throw him on the list. I'm talking
No,
about
yeah.
right, but I can agree with that.
I might have to give it to Luka just because he.
This guy's dominant. This guy is.
What is he dominating in?
Hold on.
I mean, he's scoring, but how long can you put up these empty stats and not
What do you mean,
not
empty
mean
stats?
anything.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, they're
you
not
mean-
empty, but think
Okay.
about it.
Yeah.
We didn't feel this way about Devin Booker literally until last year when his team was good. Before then, people would just be like, oh, he's all right, but he ain't did anything.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to get there for me to put you on that pedestal.
Honestly,
Because, like,
point wise, Luka and Kyrie are about the same, and Kyrie's older. Here's the thing. So, Luka's first year in the league averaged. I'm just looking at points right now, but averaged 21.2 points. Obviously, Kyrie's been playing a lot by then, but he averaged 23.8, so he won that year. Luka's second year, he averaged 28.8. Kyrie averaged 27.4 in 2019, so Luka gets that one. Luka's third year, he averaged 27.7. That year, Kyrie had 27, so that one was really close, a difference by 0.7. And this year, Luka had 28, Kyrie had 27, but he played a short season. So, it's pretty close.
yeah.
With those numbers, what?
I'm taking.
I think
I'm
Kyrie-
taking Luka just because it's Ramadan.
But Kyrie has better handles.
Just because
Um,
he can eat carbs.
He can pass just as well.
I think Luka too. His defense is not very
He
good.
does, yeah, he's not the best defender.
No,
But,
I think he's improving. You're not gonna say, oh wow, he's like his defense is top notch now. He's not. He hasn't improved that much, but I think it is getting better.
I have a question.
Okay.
So, how long can Luka not make the finals or like the Western Conference Finals and be competitive? How long can he just
The bad thing
Just
is,
put up pointless.
like
stuff.
how long can you do that? Like, there's only so long because if you say he's a top 3, top 5 player on your team, that don't matter.
gotta get
You're
to the
gonna
front.
carry your team there regardless. Like, it doesn't matter.
okay, I agree with you. I also think that's such a hard question to answer because it's not like with KD and Kyrie at the time James Harden. Okay, that's a big 3, and other teams like that where Luka's never had a team like that, so it's hard to say how long can he go. Well, he's never had anyone
That's
to help
not
him.
an excuse. Like, if you're a good player, if you're that good, think about every other good player. They're gonna reach that pedestal at some
I'm
point.
saying
in their career.
LeBron can't even make the playoffs, and he's arguably one
He's
of the
37 years old.
He's still almost
Calvin,
he
in
was
LeBron's
leading the league
in
in points at
LeBron's
one
second
point.
year, he was already in the finals. Luka has not got anywhere close to that.
That's fair.
Like all these great, think about all those great players we named. Most of those players on that list, they have brought their
Probably
team to
all
the
of them.
finals when they were the
If
best
not
player.
one,
Okay, I'm not even gonna count LeBron because he's had great teams. Giannis
has a ring.
Literally
has a ring.
His
His team's
If Giannis was his size when he first came in the league, he would have been there a lot.
okay,
sooner.
but like even I'm not hating on Curry here, but like KD, he's gotten rings because of Curry. I'm gonna say that right now.
That's fair enough.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
he
hope-
got to
the way
he
it's
at
looking
least
like-
got to the finals without Curry before, and he got to the Western Conference Finals without him before. Luka has not got to that
That's
stage
true,
of his
that's
career yet.
But but like I'm saying, KD was on good teams with those when he was doing that. With the Thunder, yes, they were a lot of young superstars, but at the time they were still good.
KD's, he had Westbrook was dominant back then, but other than that, it's like the Nets now. It's KD and Westbrook, and then